Hello, my name is Sunny and today is November 13th, 2014, which means today is day 13 of NaNoWriMo, and I still have not written in several days. I'm like really far behind. Last night I fell asleep editing my video, which is why I went up this morning. And I'm going to really quickly try to get this video in today before I head off to work. I'm running late for that because my cold is still kicking my ass, but I thought I would kind of dress up today and take a shower and try to feel better. And I don't know if it's working yet, but onward. So what I wanted to talk about today is a system I developed a couple months ago, just before the start of NaNoWriMo. I needed a better way to organize my thoughts for planning out the rest of my novel. I guess I should preface this by saying I'm a plotter. For the most part, I plot, but in scenes themselves, I tend to pants a little bit. So I needed to figure out a way to organize my thoughts better, and one way that people tend to do that is by taking note cards and sticking them up on a wall, and then they can rearrange the note cards and flip things around, and they can add more scenes in really easily. And so I started doing that, and that really helped to kind of figure out where I was going and how far apart certain events need to be and where I needed to find more interesting things to happen. So I did that at first, but my note cards never stayed on the wall. They kept coming down, and I kept having to figure out where they went. So I decided, okay, this isn't working. I don't really have a wall where I can just leave them permanently. I had to kind of stick them up with some stickers, and that it wasn't working. So I decided, what other way could I do this? And I'm a computer nerd, and I know how to use all sorts of programs. So I decided, hey, Excel would work really well for this. So I developed the same thing, but just using each cell as a note card in Microsoft Excel. This is what it looks like in practice. It's a huge document. All the yellow stuff is stuff I've not yet planned out. That has to all be plotted still. Down here, there's a big dividing line right here. That's where I ended up last year. Right here on this column is where I stopped writing last year, all of this stuff. This is what I started writing this year, and I got to that scene and I realized I have to go back and write all of these purple scenes that I've not yet written, because I added in so many new stuff. So that's what it looks like in practice. What I realized when I started putting all these scenes down, I realized, okay, these scenes, I would start at the top of a column and then work my way down and just keep entering in scenes. And when I got to a point where it seemed like the next scene I would put in just didn't really quite fit with the rest, like I was moving on to a new section, I'd start at the next column. And I didn't realize until like sometime later that I was creating chapters. So I went back through and I refined what I did, and now I have my chapters all plotted out. I've even got, I could summarize each chapter with a word, and so now I have chapter names, and this is the most exciting thing to come from it. So that's how I've been plotting. It's been really easy ever since I figured the system out. What I did before is I would just kind of, in a notebook, I would write down like bullet points, and then I would have to expand the bullet points, and especially when I first start writing a story, I have to write my bullet points, and then I expand all of those, but then I just keep rewriting all of it and adding more stuff in, and it's just that constant reworking of it in my head, and that helps me kind of figure out where I'm going. But this has helped me kind of bypass some of that. It may be because I have so much down already that it's just easier that way. But one of the other really cool things that I've noticed is that I was able to see my pacing. Am I spending too many scenes with one plot line? This story has two main plot lines, and I call one plot and the other subplot, but they're both fairly important for the story. And so I was just really happy to have come up with that idea. Now, I don't know if Scrivener or any of the other writing programs has something like this, but I mean, that would be, I mean, if it was some kind of automated thing, that would be amazing. Because I do still have to go through a painstaking process to move everything, and I had to color everything by hand, and you know, there is some work involved, but it's at least a really fantastic visual, and it helps me. I'm a plotter. I really need to see visually what's going on in my story, and I can reference each cell. Each scene now has a column number and a row number, so whenever I go to plan my scenes out, I can just label them. Plus, whenever I had all those scenes I had to add into the first part of my story, I just went through my first part of my story, I found where I needed to add that scene, I put the label in there, so now, when I finish with NaNoWriMo this year, I can take all those scenes that I wrote, they're each labeled, I can search for that label in my original document, insert them in, and it's going to make the process so much faster. So that's how I've planned my novels. Just a really quick video today. Yes, I've still not written anything. I'm still at 16,500 words. We're supposed to be at 21,000 and a half or something words today. I've got some work to do, but I think I can do it. Like I said, I do 3,000 words today, 3,000 words tomorrow, 3,000 words on Saturday, and I'm all caught up. So, I feel like I've got a little bit more energy today. I'm going to try to keep my food intake up and my water intake up, and I'm going to try to kick this cold in its ass. It's kicking me all around lately. I'm going to take control of it now. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If this looks like it might be helpful to you, or if you want me to go into better detail about it, I could definitely do a more structured video talking about how I've actually gone through this process and figured out how to set this all up. I would love to do that if anybody is interested. I will see you tomorrow for another update, hopefully with some words written. Hello, today is November 13. Why am I shouting at you? What I wanted to talk about, stutter. I guess I'm nervous or something.